Well, FlyQuest Red, the lower bracket demons, they keep at it. They're now one map away from claiming this lower finals and making their way into the grand finals. And Doug, this Icebox performance from the get-go, again, FlyQuest Red, they were not playing around today.
No, there are a few times that we'll watch, especially on a map like Icebox, there are a few times we'll watch two teams clash and go, okay, there's genuinely no chance for them to come back, right? We're talking about like David Copperfield levels of magic in order to make that happen. I think I got that reference right. Bear with me in case I didn't. But the point is, it would have been ridiculous. And I really saw no way for it to come back in. I think, again, much like map 1, everything was clicking for FlyQuest, but it was even more effective, and it was even more impressive the second time around. It really wasn't until the second half that we really felt unstable to start to get online and get heated up. It wasn't until the op game in round 3 of the second half that we thought, okay, maybe. But the truth is, when you're staring at that big of a deficit that late in a map, it's so hard to claw your way back into things.
Especially too with the FlyQuest Red that have looked so coordinated and looked so clean. I mean, Passion Project, they're a team that can be making some cool comebacks here, but honestly, with how FlyQuest have been looking so far, I think it was a little bit tough pressed in this series here, Baby Bay. I mean, Passion Project, it's a team that we know they can be making these comebacks. We know they can take these wins, but so far in the first 2 maps, it's just only been FlyQuest game.
Yeah, I just think it's so hard when you're at such a deficit, like Doug was saying, and the strong starts. I mean, we spoke about this from the beginning of the series, right? If you get Donut going, or anybody on the team really going, Lace had some incredible moments. Even Sonder had amazing impact kills, even though she wasn't at the top. But if you let a team like FlyQuest get going like this in the start of the games, like, it's just going to be so hard to bring it back, because then they just fall back on their fundamentals and they're able to close it out, right? Like, most notably, it was that call from Ender that he talked about, where FlyQuest, they go towards B, right, on their eco round, like one of the only eco rounds they had in this map, and that's just to show the look of them being there. And then right after that, they go straight into an A, right? Go straight into an A hit. It's a beautiful exec. They deny the op from getting any type of kills, any type of value, and it's just little things like that like just that secures the round win. So massive shout outs for Ender for catching that, and then 2 for Jovi to make that call on the timeout. And I mean, I'm sure it was with the help of everybody on the squad as well, but these are all like really micro things that make a big difference and not allow a team to come back.
And being able to rely on those fundamentals as well, when even if, you know, you have Unstable on the other end trying to get these off kills and stuff, it's been varying them well. And I think too, going into map 3 of this best of 5 is something that they can be leaning on, because now we're heading over into Breeze. And looking back at the history of these 2 teams on Breeze here, Doug, there's not really the most to go off of.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, that's a real short history book that we're looking at for both these teams. And it's not even like there's a little bit there, but it was relatively recent, and you can kind of draw on what we've seen in the past. It's been so long for both of these teams. One of these teams hasn't really played it since January. The other one was a bit more recent, but maybe less meaningful of a tournament. The last time there was a meaningful rep on it for FlyQuest, if I'm not mistaken, or no, excuse me, for Passion Project was in March, right? So who knows what we're gonna get? I think Breeze as a map still has a little bit of room for creativity as well. I think we've seen single duelist comps with Yuri. We've seen double duelist comps with Yuri and the Jet, which I'm a big fan of. I think Viper is still a staple, but there are different ways to play around that. I think Harbor still has a little bit of room to play around here as well. So I'm really excited, because we haven't seen these 2 teams play this very often, because the stakes have never been greater for these 2 teams in this tournament. Like, this is where, in this small microcosm of the last couple of days, the pressure's at its greatest. And when you've got a team like Passion Project, who came into this with such high aspirations, given how well they pushed Shopify yesterday, knocking on the doorstep of knocking at the door of a grand final, it's going to bring the best out of you. And either some teams are going to thrive in that, or some teams are going to crumble. And I think a lot of that starts with the agent picks.
I mean, if we're looking for a step from Passion Project, it literally is now or never. This is their life on the line. They lose this, they are out. Maybe Babe, this is something too for Passion Project. We've seen them face off. We know things could be good. And if they pull out something here that maybe FlyQuest isn't quite expecting, like, Passion Project do have the skills to back it up.
Yeah, it's definitely going to need to be a strong start from specifically Unstable, who was absolutely destroying on that last map. That was like the only saving grace of what we were witnessing, because what we're seeing so far from this Passion project is a team that we did not see yesterday at all. They've definitely, I don't know if it was from yesterday of how they lost. Like, I'm sure in their heads they thought they could have won or they should have won, or maybe they simply overlooked FlyQuest, knowing that they've beaten them 2 times beforehand. I highly doubt that's the case. But I just feel like we're seeing a team that's like not handling the pressure very well right now. And if they want to bring it back, you have to start off strong. You have to be proactive on this defensive side, starting with your star duelist right now.
I think some of my concern as we think about agent select leading into Breeze is, as much as I was talking about how there is a little bit of room for creativity, there's not a ton. And so for Passion Project, if the plan is to really pull something out of the hat, right, that's going to catch FlyQuest off guard, there's not a lot there that you can really lean from. You've got to go so far off the beaten path if that's going to be your approach and your game plan going into this. And you know, maybe that is the call. Maybe that is where they find some success in a comp that we haven't really seen a ton of. I'm instantly reminded of the fact that Paper X like to run Reyna on Breeze, and I think there is a little bit of room for that. I think about Leers through halls to hit A sites. Like, there is possibility for that, but it's just so uncommon. It's so rare. And I think, to your point, do they have so...
What?
No shot. Well, that's not who I thought it was going to come from. I thought it was going to come from Passion Project.
Literally.
They went standard. I love the Reyna. All right, now I'm going to pog about the Reyna on Breeze, because I think it can be so good if the synergy is there, and if you're really strategic on attack about where you're using the Leers, it can be so annoying to deal with, right? You're not used to having to clear those Leers out of these random angles.
And just real quick to play devil's advocate, I mean, this is a map that both teams are not that familiar with, so maybe it's also in case that it does get kind of puggy as well, right? Like, why not have a Reyna if it's gonna get like that, you know? So yeah, you're right though. It is so weird playing against a Reyna on a map like this, because of Leers, right? And that buff to the Leer where, you know, it could blind anybody anywhere. So once that wall goes up, a dart's shooting up behind you. I mean, are you going to look forward or are you going to look back? By the time you turn around, that Leer's just blinding you, and next thing you know, there's a jet on top of you on site. So yeah, there's a lot of cool setups you can do and a lot of cool timings you can take. That being said, I don't know what to expect, because, I mean,
it'll be good.
We hope so, right? We hope so.
I don't know. I expect a lot of fun out here. Reyna on one and you're on the other. Passion Project playing for their lives. Ender Mimi, take it away, guys. This would be great.
FlyQuest, they lost last stunt to Shopify in the finals. They have a chance to make it there again, 1 map away, and we are in completely uncharted territory here. Arena locked in, a map neither of these teams really play. This could go anyway.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely wild, and it's with a Passion Project whose backs are against the wall. This is a team that, I mean, clearly the best unsigned team in Game Changers, but they have been pushing and unable to make a final so far. In Series 1, it was actually losing versus Pawpels and not even making it here to the best of 5, and one of those maps that they lost on was Breeze. They've only played it once since then in a silly tournament. Now we've got to actually see if they've got what it takes to be able to push this new comp, this Sonder Reyna, to the distance and go to a 4th map.
And I mean, the Reyna is not uncharted on this map. We've seen it before when you're like hitting A. The Leer can actually be really good to combine with the dart. The full vision on that flash makes it tough for Oppers to swing back in. Like, this comp has merit, but still, it's out of the ordinary, and you are giving things up. You're giving more real utility, like you get with a KO up, to block in this Reyna.
And I think primarily the difficulty is Sonder is switching away from a KO into the Reyna. And what you're not going to really have with this comp is good answers into the Cypher defensive setup, right? Because when you're playing Yoru as a second duelist, for example, you've got your clone to break the trips, you can TP behind, you of course have a flash, you've got all these extra tools to be able to gap close and get past that Cypher utility. If a KO is in that slot, you can do similar things with either the ultimate or the knife to be able to shut down that utility. So it is is going to be a little bit harder, I think, especially on attack, to break into those Cypher defensive setups. But of course, your fighting is so bolstered up with this Reyna, and especially defensively, it gives you threats in so many different areas, because both the Reyna and the Jett can play very forward lines, even off angles too is really where the Reyna is going to thrive. So it's maybe a little bit more flippy, right? Gunfight heavy on that Reyna, but just a very different style overall compared to what FlyQuest had previously been playing.
It's going to be sick, though, to see Sonder back on that agent. I mean, for a long time, was in every damn final with the Shopify Rebellion before this one. Back when this SR was Cloud9, she was always there on top. She was the duelist prospect everyone was talking about in this scene. And Jazzy was right there on the other side as well. Now seeing the kind of new edition of this rivalry with completely different squads around them and Sonder locking in the Reyna, it's going to be sick.
It absolutely is. And I think that FlyQuest, ever since falling to the lower bracket, have just been looking lights out. Genuinely, this is a team that I think a lot of people were worried about. You know, even in the open qualifiers, they weren't looking as sharp as they have in the past. They weren't dominating in the effect that you'd expect them to, you know, not actually winning one of those. And then all of a sudden, they're losing to Solstice in round one. Solstice, of course, a ton of prospects on that team that have been getting better and better and better, but still, FlyQuest, for the name alone, should be winning that. And yet, with their backs against the wall, they have just been dominating and are now looking very poised and very ready to face off against the Shopify Rebellion if they can close this series.
Well, a technical issue here when the players working out some problems with their peripheral, trying to get that all sorted and get into map number 3 of this BO5. But while we wait, let's check out Power Pixel and what they had to say beyond the crosshair.
Hey there, I'm PowerPixel. I'm the flex for Passion Project and IGL. My teammate is Jessica. She plays duelist for Passion Project, and I would say she's probably one of the best space makers and mid-rounders in the game. My teammate, Unstable, Flash and Shader, and one of the most talented intuition-wise in this game, just having reads of the game in the mid-round or even pre-round. Lazy Line is my teammate. They play Sentinel / Infinite Shader, and they are probably one of the most reliable / consistent players I have on my team, mechanically speaking. Our teammate Sibui plays controller. She is probably one of the most hype people that you can have on a team. Vibe merchant. Because we're 5 friends who just want to show up on stage. We've all been on different teams at the time, like Jazzy's from Cole, Sibui from SR, Lazy and Unstable from DSG at the time, and me from EG. It was just a bunch of people who I would personally think going into 2023 would never have the opportunity to be on the same team, but we ended up being on the same. I imagine for long-time viewers, it actually is very nice to see us play together. I'd like another shot, champs. And I showed up there with 5 friends in the past, and I would like to show up with 5 friends again. Probably Bensili and Doug, probably like the top 2 people in my experience. Maybe because of the fact that I've actually talked with Vansili before, and I've interacted a little bit with Doug. When I first started playing Cole Complexity in 2022, Vansili actually DM'd me at the time because of the fact that NB players weren't very common. They actually asked me about, like, you know, oh, what's the pronunciation, what's the pronouns you use and everything, and like really made sure about it before my match started. So I have like eternal respect for Vansili. Actual eternal respect. After GC1, they were like, yo, we can have whatever names you want. So we got LeBron D. Wade, the Lorax, Pookykins, and they came to me and they were like, what do you want, Power? I'm like, I just want my normal name, right? Let me, I'm not that, you know, like funny or whatever. I couldn't think of anything at the time. But I was like, you know what? PPPP sounds pretty sick. Let's run with that. This is my hobby. I think Korea, as someone who is half Korean, I think it is really sick to go there. I think the fans and the culture there is really cool. And just the actual like love for esports in Korea is very sick to see. Super team. I'm gonna go with Dodo as duelist. I'll go with Mimi as the flex. I'll also take a Neri from SMG / Zipto Esports. I think she would be a really good addition in as a secondary flex / like duelist. In theory, she probably play. She can flex to pretty much any role. be honest. And for Flash and Share, I'd probably choose Mimi too. Who do I want as my controller IGL? Throw Melon. I'll throw Mel as the IGL of that squad. I'd like to thank everybody for who supported me so far on this journey through DC, and I hope for your continued support with Passion Project, since it's only us and 5 passionate players trying to make it through to make it on stage one day.
Welcome back. We're in map number 3 of our lower final. FlyQuest Red, 1 map away from making their way into the Grands and having another shot against Shopify Rebellion. Everything's sorted out with the tech issues, and we're ready to go here. We've got Arena against Yoru. It's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, it is. And if you look at the bottom of your screen, you can already tell Sonder has been a raid boss for the pistol round. We got a little light armor purchase. I believe a teammate dropped a ghost over to her. I think that was Thea, if I'm doing my math right on that one.
Revealing area.
So she is looking to absolutely snowball through this round, and really it's only Power Pixel here to hold down the A site, Mimi.
Everyone else from Passion Project working back through mid is Starbound. Gets a stunning shot, working their way up. Hall's dash followed up, but Power Pixel adjusts to pick up a double. Great hold on this site. Unstable has arrived, and FlyQuest in a bit of trouble now. The smoke's down, and both these players getting routed by Jazzykins.
That lurk wrapping on through, but all you need is Power Pixel. Oh my word! Starbound completely caught out. An excellent hold from the smokes of Passion Project.
What great stuff from them. I mean, early in this round showing how proactive you can be with this double duelist composition, with that fast push down mid, then instantly reacting into a flood retake on A. But none of that is possible without Power Pixel as that anchor.
Absolutely. And a reminder, neither of these teams have VODs of each other within like the last 3.5 months minimum. And it's a new comp for FlyQuest. So we are truly in unknown territory for these two teams. This is not a match that either side could have really prepped for all that much outside of their own game plans. So we'll see how the adaptations come throughout the day. Thea has been very strong at doing that thus far. And I'm also just curious to see how linked up Unstable and Jazzykins are. Unstable is so solid back on Icebox, and already in the first 2 rounds, these two duelists are walking around and setting up fights together constantly.
Reclear into A main is perfectly timed. Sabui spots out this player in mid, but okay. Starbound just flies their way into a nice kill there, so bit of an advantage for now to FlyQuest.
Cage triggered.
Bit of a creative round from the Sentinel.
Some would call it creative, some would call it silly. Who's to say what it is? But this could be still troublesome. Unstable whipping out on shots, only 20 HP. They somehow escape and stay alive for now. Reinforcements are here, but that Marshall could do quite a bit of damage. Unstable 1 shot to that. Anyone else will eat up a lot of damage and give an opportunity for these classics to do some work. But that relies on Sonder finding an angle, getting his shot here. And Passion Project will just take their time to group. No flashes, no real util, but this retake while they get back in. Dodonut has found one. Still no trades coming through. FlyQuest is just picking away at them, and now time is starting to become a bit of a problem in this one. Passion Project have to find these players, but again an isolated duel loss. Lace finds a triple, 2 off the headshots on the Marshall, and it's a tragedy for Passion Project.
Just ridiculous. I mean, there's 2 classic kills in that round spread between Starbound and Dodo, and Lace, after picking up a Marshall, just gets 3. Unbelievable. And that is so disheartening for Passion Project. You're already getting owned in the series. It was a brutal map of Icebox before this, and then you lose your round 2?
It starts off with a player jumping into Nest, and just a brutal round. And now another technical pause. At least time to reflect on that round, reset into the future.
Yeah, unclear what the issue was on that just yet. I actually did just get word that Sonder lost audio during that round, so we are going to be sorting that one out. And you know what? Sonder just went around without audio.
Good for her.
Easy. You know, it helps her focus, you know, when you don't have to listen to anything. It's just be in the complete flow state. You don't have your cringe IGL telling you what to do. Actually, I've got better intel that Sonder just unplugged her headset because she was playing Reyna and wanted to just roleplay the ranked experience.
Sources dispute that one.
That is heavily disputed, it's true.
She probably actually wants to get it fixed, which is why we're in a pause. But yeah, I mean, that is a massive turnaround for this FlyQuest team. They've been so good since losing that very first round of the main event. A pretty huge upset for Solstice, a team that, the name at least, is pretty unknown by most coming into this main event. And ever since then, they have been completely flawless, destroying everyone in this lower bracket. They've played every day since that loss and have made this run happen all the way back to maybe the finals, if they can just close out Breeze.
Yeah, and they're going to be feeling very confident. If you beat a Passion Project 3-0 this decisively, after one day after Passion Project, we're very nearly qualifying for the finals. That has got to make you feel very good, even if you are facing off against Shopify at the end. Still, though,
remember,
have to be able to close this.
Yeah, I mean, Passion Project is 2-1 this year against FlyQuest. I think it was very fair to say they were the favorite coming into this series, especially after yesterday's performance.
Oh, absolutely. Yesterday is what really sells it for me.
I mean, they should have beaten Shopify. If Floor did not drop 94 kills in a BO3, there's no doubt in my mind that they would not have won that series, because the macro calling throughout was on point. Players were stepping up and having massive performances. Like, honestly, PowerPixel was lights out that entire series, and they even were like a round away from finishing that comeback on Ascent.
Yeah.
Took it all the way to overtime, only to lose to a Floor clutch.
It would be honestly shocking if this was the way that it went out without even much of a fight, after how convincing Icebox ended up being. It is interesting one, though, that even in the 2-1 record over the course of the year, and FlyQuest, you know, only winning the one time they won was in the main event back in Series 1. This will only be the second time they faced off in a main event thus far, but that sort of goes with the motto that FlyQuest have, that when they're playing those important matches, that is when they're absolutely at their best, when they have actually things to lose, and it's not just a qualifier situation or an upper bracket situation. That is when they really have that drive to make it perfect.
For some of these players, too, there probably is a little added motivation to do that. They're playing against PowerPixel, who both Thea and Starbound were teaming up with last year. Went on that run as EG, made it all the way to GCC, and it obviously didn't go the way they wanted, losing to a team that blocked 5 duelists going out in the first round. But still, they showed promise there. They were the first squad to beat the Shopify core in a GC final, and had some great moments at that international land, even if it didn't go their way. You heard in that interview from PowerPixel, they went to GCC with 5 friends, and they want to go back with another 5 friends.
That they do. And I feel like Passion Project, honestly, of any team in the scene, have the most to play for, right? Like, they're not just playing for the placement, for the prize money, the qualification, anything. They're also playing to just convince someone to sign them. And I'm convinced. I think most people are convinced. But, you know, there is something to be said where, like, if you're out there and you're winning everything, you're gaining a lot more traction, right? And I think for them, obviously top 3 is good, but they want to be beating these signed teams. They want to be saying that they absolutely should be signed over these other players, and they're still at the top of the list, but for them to go 4th place and then to fall here after clearly being on the level of these top teams, it's just gonna sting that much more for a team that doesn't have the backing of an organization yet.
It would be absolutely massive for them. Little update on our tech pause. Sounds like our audio issue is resolved, and we're just getting the ready check on all the players to be back at their seats and ready to hop back into the action. As a reminder, we're 2 rounds into our 3rd map here in this best out of 5. FlyQuest is 1 map away from making the finals again, and they just ecoed Passion Project with a Marshall and 4 classics.
Yeah. It's going to be another eco here for Passion Project. Actually getting pretty active down halls and maybe into mid as well. FlyQuest not going to be taking any chances with 5 players geared up for a quick B-pop.
Reyna Lear up, dash to follow. It's an easy dive into Cypher. Passion Project are grouped together behind this wall. The second wave of the fight is good. Nice trades by Dodo, and she's not slowing down. Just a maniac push all the way into spawn. We're on Breeze, by the way.
That we are.
Reminder there.
You can definitely anticipate a little bit of chaos on this map. Oh my word, Laces. Just jumping around, getting headshot in the process, but lives on just a sliver. As expected there for FlyQuest.
So 2-1 up. Guns are going to come back out.
Mimi. I saw a little operator purchase. It is online now for Jazzykins. Jazzykins, the jet player on this map, Unstables on the Yoru, even after a really sick performance from them back on Icebox, even in that loss. And it'll be Unstable looking to maybe get active out into mid while Jazzy just holds down the forward in A. But once again, FlyQuest just seemingly have picked out the right place to go. They're attacking into the weak side of that Cypher, although quickly Unstable has already teleported in towards backside. The fight into back is good from Sonder, and double wrapping against Pillar again neutralizes this anchor.
And these executes are so good thus far. Perfect shock darts to break all that Cypher utility. Lear goes up, Sova Dart comes in, and Starbound's even waiting late in mid for that lurk. An incredibly clean round here out of FlyQuest, and that is a scary sight, seeing Sonder start to find multi-kills, start to come online. It's not been a bad series for her by any means, but it has not been Sondering time, so to speak, thus far. And on this Reyna, if she's coming online, if Dodonut is starting to find form, this could really snowball.
You better believe it. At the same time, Passion Project now have to start adjusting how they play with those 2 execs wrapping around Pillar. I don't think Lazy Lion's going to feel like playing there. And now, actually, with more support going over into B early on, it's FlyQuest switching things up to just 5-player exec against the Eco, straight over into A.
Jazzy, oh my, swung forward, but Dodonut's blades are better. Finds a shot there, and the follow-up is good from Sonder. This 1-2 punch, super effective to keep good control of yet another anti-ego here. That Sheriff for Unstable is gone, and Spike will come down as FlyQuest just farms up the kills.
This is tough. I mean, it's now 2 anti-ecos that FlyQuest have played, which I think is definitely allowing them to run so many execs. Usually on Breeze, it's not quite so active. Nice shot there, coming in from Lazy Line, and they're going to keep lining up for them. 2 is all they're going to be able to get there, however.
So 4-1. After that last map, Icebox going 11-1 in the first half. There definitely has to be questions about the resiliency for Passion Project, losing super close games to even come down into this lower final, and now in the face of back-to-back dominant halves, need to get a round on the board here.
Big ults here. I say that. We've got a Yoru and a Sova. The rest of the ults maybe not so insane. We got a lot of them available. FlyQuest, again, just full 5 stacking. They have not been slow playing rounds at all. They just think they can overrun Passion Project, and Passion Project haven't given them a reason not to. This might be it, though. Lazy Line tucked out in the corner. That's going to be 2 kills, and 3 players now rotating into the site. Spike stuck out there in the open as Lazy Line goes back for more. The ping's out, assist in the fight. That's going to be 3 in the round for them, and it is lights out FlyQuest, no chance to break out through that opening.
One mistake and the round falls to pieces. No one's looking in the close corner. Lazy Lion takes full advantage of that. Nice piece of shooting from them. And that's exactly what they needed to try and build back into this one. I guess it's as simple as that. Find the gap in this exec. There really isn't actually a ton of util to flush out. The only flash is on the Reyna. You don't have like a Dizzy, and if the Silver Dart isn't scanning, gaps like that can be found.
Yes.
Passion Project have shifted the Cypher over towards A, but it's another B exec. This time, FlyQuest might run into a snake bite and some spam coming up from 2 players in back site. That'll be a very different look to have to deal with. There's the snake bite in response to the drone, just stalling them out in main. Sondra even takes a little bit of chip damage, but they're gonna go ahead and exec in with the ultimate. Snake bite actually gets a kill, and they're still lining up for it. 3 kills uncontested, only finally responded to by that Hunter's Fury. And yet the lurk falls in mid. Lace dies in main there too. What were they thinking running straight into that molly?
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back rounds where they get a little overzealous on these executes. Last round not checking the corner. This one trying to push their way through util. A little questionable decision-making. But that is almost given control of this half back to Passion Project.
Yeah, I think this is going to signal the end of just the full slams into the sites. They've run enough of them now against Ecos that the threat is going to be there. And I also see that Dodo has gone for the attacking op. And that always means your pace is going to be slowing down. FlyQuest have not challenged into this mid space at all, apart from a couple lurks that have been punished. So now that op is going to really try and just post up and make it so these mid-round rotations aren't going to be possible through mid.
Look at this play down hall. It was a Sova Dart and a Yoru clone pushing in. Jazzykins took the space off of that, but that's a good re-clear. Still, won't give that space back to Fly, and this allows Passion Project to cheat a little heavily towards the B side. But now with that Sova coming back, there could be an opportunity here to just run another exec.
Unstable can just swing off of the camera. They actually choose not to. It's broken a little bit too quickly. And it's a strange round for FlyQuest, because Dodo is still posted just right down and shoot on the smallest angle I've ever seen.
This is an online tournament, by the way, and
Yeah.
she's holding that angle.
Yeah, you're playing on
Confident as hell.
ping. That is wild. Moving back into mid, but the timing on this is perfect. Look at the combination of ultimates. Lace trying to dodge around it, and she does it. The other Sova can't touch her. She knows all the tens, and she knows absolutely everything. And now the split hit comes in. Lazy with 2 kills before being dealt with. And now Sabui, the next problem, posed to FlyQuest. Dancing on Forge, she gets another. Passion Project have figured out this B site, and there's nothing FlyQuest can do to it.
What great stuff there from Passion Project. FlyQuest just trying to go into this late hold, but I love the proactivity we saw there earlier in the round. Passion Project full clearing through the A site, shutting that one down, then having this Yoru as a fast rotator to get back into B, and just nice coordination between these two. And that's even after that combo play between the Sova and the Yoru ult down hall didn't work.
Yeah, and honestly, it's Lazy Lion to me, because Lazy Lion played 2 rounds from Pillar, went 0 for 2, got wrapped, lost both of them. After that, has switched to playing over into that left side of sight, has been dominant. Jazzy getting active out through double doors into mid, finds the opener, and that just blows up the round for FlyQuest.
FlyQuest with no dive now. Have a troubling position. Ever since these B execs have stopped working, they're yet to find another round. They gets a bite out of Unstable, but no kill, and the Yoru has kind of cheated back towards B, but with that Viper's Pit up on A, it's troubling here.
FlyQuest have never gone in through double doors, but Sabui is already reading this. He knows of the gap in it and finds the perfect timing to swing out on top of the Leer. FlyQuest have to leave. Thea cannot exec into the site, even if she drops the wall to fake exec.
But who are they going back into? Lazy Lion has been holding the whole time, and they have been excellent as this anchor. Cam tags onto one. This play is now telegraphed. Support incoming, but Lazy Lion is going to have to do this on their own to start. Can they dodge the drone? They will. Duck and dive. Fight towards main. That's 1 kill found. The connection on the trip, but a swing into Lace unsuccessful. 2v4. Unstable locks it down. And Lace has so little time and so few chances. Clean shots from Unstable. Passion Project have taken a complete 180.
It's the easiest pivot they ever made. Just rotating Lazy Lion from pillar to backside. And they are a completely different player. They found all the answers. FlyQuest are going to be calling a timeout because now, ever since they've given up on those fast execs, they're trying to slow play on multiple fronts, but all the reaggros, the fights into mid, they're just not actually working out for FlyQuest. And it's going to be an eco for them. Only 2 buy rounds left in the half. I wonder, Halls is an area they haven't really played for much at all. They also haven't really defaulted control into A main either. And that round, they just got kind of pushed out by the Viper pit. I feel like playing more for A main and mid control early is the answer, because they've just been so B and elbow heavy.
I think the biggest issue, though, is when they're coming back into that side of the map, Jazzykins, who hasn't had many rounds where she's been tested, has been really active there. Rounds where she's walking down halls, rounds where we're seeing these re-aggros late into mid. If the timing is right, Passion Project can get a lot of success off of that.
I think Passion Project are going to be looking for Jazzy, maybe down halls again. Yeah, there's the op posted up there, sort of anticipating a similar adjustment to what I was thinking FlyQuest would be looking for. FlyQuest, however, going to be set up much more around mid in this round. But I'm just thinking that because Passion Project are always committing these double trips over towards B, it's very hard for FlyQuest with their comp to break past those, and they should abuse some of the gaps and actually try to get some more forward space into a halls. Oh!
Okay. Yeah, the Marshall wins there. All right, Starbound. Power Pixel. Haven't talked about them in a bit, but that Lear not broken, and Sonder just gets 3 body shots off. Unstable trying to swing through, but there's too many targets to contend with, and Sabui as well is running for the hills. Duck and dive damage is done, but she's alive. 2v3. Spike to be planted, a drone incoming, but great information for the attacking side. They will hold strong here. Starbound watches the drop. Both players down below, a swing in from both, and Lazy Lion only has 5 HP to work with. Double up too good. FlyQuest reply on their second thrifty round of the half.
Unbelievable. Round 2, then round 10. Just making it happen. It's a good adjustment, but let's make no mistakes. I think one player did a little bit more here this round, and that's going to be Starbound finding the headshot with the Marshall versus Op battle in halls. That just completely dissolved the hold of that A site. And FlyQuest aren't going to really deviate from that plan. Okay, they're not going halls this round, but again, it's going to be this heavy mid-play early on. Jazzykins has a new angle with this op, though. And that could be exactly how Passion Project break apart this mid-default from Fly.
Lear through. Jazzy trying to find a gap.
Oh, dear.
I mean, she thought she did, but Sonder just wrecks her. That's an opener. And now this B side is in trouble.
FlyQuest wrapping all the way back around. Don't forget Lazy Lion still playing close. Right on ladder here, but they actually just look at his spawn. Sonder finds a kill. Lazy Lion's forced into main and does find their first. Now, however, Dodonut wrapped back into sight. Passion Project completely isolated. Unstable finds the one, but that spike should be recovered and planted for backside.
Biting this clone to try and fake back late. Steps being made there, but Unstable's going to walk around through elbow and back to mid instead. At this point, they know the clone was fake, but still suspect someone in main. No one is touching here just yet, but now the jet turning just in time, and that's good information. 2 flashes, but limited time, and no teleport to work with. This is a lot of space to cover. And 3 players just waiting for their chance to swing. It's just unwinnable. FlyQuest regain the lead.
I mean, I feel like a lot of these maps have been FlyQuest calling. It has now just turned into dominating Jazzykins operator. She has not found value with that the last 2 rounds. If they're going to win this 12th and tie things up, I think she's got to. Some excellent shots out of Starbound and Sonder. And I think they're geared up for a little bit of an A split again, challenging up into halls. That's been good the last time they ran there. And now it's going to be virtually uncontested, it appears.
FlyQuest, for the first time this match, putting a heavy emphasis on halls. One strength for this Reyna. Papa Lear through the door. You have a great exec. And here that comes. Lear goes high. Second one invested. Hunter's Fury coming through, but everyone on site is blinded. And FlyQuest. Oh my God, Sonder. That was one bullet adjusted in the middle of her movement.
But Lazy Lion got the spike up in halls. They're pushing forward and looking for it. Sonder retrieves it somehow. And Lazy Lion loses the chance to hold on to that position. Now they've got to swing back into the fight, and they do. Dodo Nut falls. Valace is quick on the response, and FlyQuest lead at the half.
What a ridiculous half. They win an eco after losing Pistol to bring a 4-1 lead, then lose a massive streak of rounds. Only, by the way, was Sandra tagged by the dart was on her as she was running around in dismiss, then finding that shot. So much of this has just come down to the FlyQuest individuals looking excellent towards the end of that half.
But now Passion Project with their backs against the wall in the series, trailing at the half, and I've got one thing that has looked worse for them today, and that is their attacking side. They have won a combined 2 rounds across the 2 halves that they have played attack in this series. They have to look better. There is no other alternative for them in this series to stay alive in GC Series 2.
This team was a round away from beating Shopify. And now they are on the verge of elimination. This pistol is a necessity. Thea swings through Jazzy. That's a great opener to find for her, but this lurk is the next step. And Lazy Lion is successful on that as well. A very good start here for Passion Project.
Here.
But a second layer to this reflank, that Cypher coming back through. Dodo Nut gets a kill. There is very much still a chance here for this defensive squad. Unstable will continue to cause a bit of trouble in mid as Jazzykins looks for a fight towards backside. Dodo Nut gets a kill. Lace another. How's it gone so wrong? Time ticking, Dodo sticking. Sabui needs to swing and stop this.
It's not
one
planted
kill,
for them.
needs another. It's just not planted in the right position. That is a full stick coming through with players left alive. What a blunder for Passion Project.
I really think the pressure's getting to them. It's not planted for main or for the reflank. 2 different players are reflanking, rushing through it. I mean, Lazy Lion has had a fantastic game so far, but they really sped up through double doors and got taken down immediately. Passion Project just played so disjointed in that post plant, and they're kind of half buying back in here. Not so insane because they, of course, did get the plant, and it is Breeze. But they're risking a lot here against potential outlaw buys in round 3.
Here. Got him.
Clean shots there from Dodo.
Hey, it's a good trade, though. And Jazzy needs to get some of that confidence back after a pretty tough first half.
So they find themselves in a 4v4. We'll slowly work this round with Lazy Lion getting spaced up mid.
I think Lazy Lion is going to be the key on this attack.
My camera is
They're feeling
destroyed.
so confident. Their looks can be great, especially with breaking some of this Cypher utility. But Passion Project are moving back over into A because of that Hall's step up from Lazy Lion. No trips to watch it. Sonder isn't really holding the angle either. But they don't feel so confident to push all the way back towards Nest, probably waiting for the exec to open up this door.
Lace missing out on a couple shots there. And this lurk still waiting to be activated. The sight hit will come in, the dart will tag a few. And Thea has a player isolated, but can't really follow up off of it. Now Lazy Lion
Huge.
on the board. That is a big kill to find. How much can Thea do in reply? Pretty soon that lurk through door is going to start to cause trouble, but Thea will not let it. A disgusting shot from the captain. Only one left. There was so much risk in this round, and it has been managed. 1v3, a Marshall, no armor, and just no chance.
Thea was looking filthy there. I mean, 3 kills, just insta headshots with the Guardian. My word. Passion Project maybe thought they had a chance with the lurk up into halls. They got a kill, taking out Saunders big, but
Here.
Thea's hold just
30
unreal.
seconds left.
Look at this.
Nasty
Ugh.
from Thea.
I mean, that
map
shot
one.
too. Ugh.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, map 1 was all about Thea. It was her calling on Icebox, and now she is so back on map number 3 as well.
Right here.
The buy now for Passion Project. Actually, we're able to get full armor heading into this one. Maybe just trying to overwhelm here. Lazy Lion again set up to play into mid. Late if they want to. But this round is going to be decided by this pop on through. Not wasting any time is Passion Project dashing into the site, trailing over to the left hand of site, trying to fight back in towards yellow. Tries to stall, re-swings in. And no one's actually fallen now for FlyQuest. Still a lot of time stalled out. Swinging out onto the right is Jazzy. Another kill, and they're not going to slow down. Passion Project are still going with VALORANT activating through double doors as well. Power Pixel finds two. A demolition of the A site from Passion Project is an easy plant to boot.
So a critical round there. That'll stem the bleeding. Passion Project still in this game. But you brought it up. The attacking sides have been the issue thus far. And this round is going to be a big test. They lose here. FlyQuest is on 10. Their ults are starting to come online. And momentum becomes a big issue.
A small saving grace, you could say, is that the ults aren't really snowball ults with this comp that FlyQuest is running. The best ult there is probably Hunter's Fury, and that's very unreliable that you're going to be grabbing a kill in terms of actually active plays. FlyQuest is going to be looking to fight pretty heavily over into A main. Stable grabs the orb and TP's out just barely. Takes a lot of damage, though, on the way. And pops the ult to try and survive, too. Yeah, just going into B.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be telegraphed, but no one is here in time to actually deal with things. So it's going to be a full 5v5 retake here on the site, but look at the reflank coming through. FlyQuest have quickly made their way down towards elbow. A trip. Lazy Lion walking back, though, and just catches the dink from Saunders' rifle. Support will be there from the Sova in main, but the cage isolates the fight. It's an easy win for Starbound. Now the pressure is going to start coming from the other side, too. These players are getting pinched in main. Only the Sova to hold. A bit of a crossfire, but the swing's too good. Starbound for one. Dodo on the trade. It's 3 versus 2, and these players are left in sight. They are wounded, but time is on their side. Dodo not trying to push in. Jazzy on the other side. A dink already received. She is trapped out in this corner, but a swing is good. Jazzy with a double. The dash into the open, but there shouldn't be enough time. No. They've done enough.
Unbelievable. I mean, the hold there to jump back up and get the planter off is fantastic. Sabui coming up with 2 kills from down in B main as well. The Red Bull clutch couldn't be any better than that. Yeah, it's that second kill Sabui gets that really opens up the round. And then here, they have on the wrong line. Lace hung out to dry and no time. Passion Project stay in it.
The gap down to 2. And Fly on a half-buy round for the first time in a while.
Get out of my way!
Got you.
I think that's double knives. These Jets about to face off. But Passion Project is just waiting for the aggression. They know that FlyQuest are going to want to do something, and, well, Lazy Lion's going to be able to find that pick in halls again. Posted up into mid is Dodo, and she could catch these rotations. Saw the player, and I don't think she was spotted on the other side. Comes back into it, gets the one, and can fall back. 10 HP, but still alive.
That's a good start for Dodo Nut. Evens out the odds here. Jazzy whipping out on those blades and just has to get out of dodge for now. Where is Passion Project going? Rifle recovered. They'll call back into B, but players are already arriving on this site. But they're rotating away now. Cam up. They'll hear this noise. Back comes the Cypher, and into the site is the linchpin of this round. Dodo Nut with only 10 HP. A few blades to work with. It's going to be difficult trying to find a connection, but through the wall, the spam is good enough. And now with a late Cypher in mid and a plant to be committed, this round is in a much better spot. Lazy Lion eventually wrangles the Vandal and should lock this one up.
FlyQuest are going to have to start finding some answers into this Lazy Lion lurk. The positions they've been in. Oh my god, stop it. Stop it, Sandra. I'm trying to talk here, and you're just killing literally everybody. Okay, thank you. Ridiculous. Ridiculous that the Marshal could still be doing that after the round is cooked completely, but Yeah, honestly, I think FlyQuest would probably be better served instead of like actively holding that tube line, that Hall's line. Well, if you want to throw a Cypher trip there, you can do that. Or, you know, if you actually want to put an operator and commit that to the fight, you're probably going to have better chances. And just Lace swinging over to hold on to that one. But I'd like to see them get a little bit more active with the combination of Sonder and Dodonut together. I think you can play a true weak side, now a strong side, with Sonder creeping on forward. Window just being held, you can swing in for kill. Unfortunately, that's not the real one.
And now there's an operator picking up this line. But it's going to be spotted. An ult from the defensive side will dissuade this B hit, and Passion Project will reset towards mid.
Yeah, FlyQuest didn't have any stall over on the B site. They just had rifles. That ult pushes them away into this Cypher setup. And a potential refight as 3 players quickly rotated over from FlyQuest. They have completely anticipated every move Passion Project have made, and Starbound is going to be a huge problem. Also, getting past this operator. Passion Project is frozen. Starbound finds the first kill. Those Doors players can't actually make it through. Starbound's still fishing for more. How do you actually step up like that? That is absurd. And still find 2 kills untraded.
Cage triggered. One enemy remaining.
Only Sabui left alive as Dodonut connects a shot on the op, and it is a lockdown for FlyQuest. Flawless round, anchoring back towards A. That Sova ult is so impactful. Perfectly funneling Passion Project into the heavy side.
The quick rotates as well, anticipating the moves of Passion Project. Ate them up, and oh, the money is bad. That is not good. Especially when there's an op in play. Don't even know what Passion Project really do in a round like this. You want to maybe slow play to find out where the weaker side of the map is going to be, but that's hard to do on an eco versus an op.
Sonder's gonna walk down halls. Lazy Lion, tagged by a dart, has to drop away. So Passion Project head back over towards B, and again, Starbound is the player called upon. Solo holding on this site.
Should be quick rotates in through tunnel if they want with that up. But as you said, Starbound here waiting. Double one-ways in backside, stalling out, shooting out at the feet. While Dodo can lock it down with the operator. Another swing. It's just that simple for Starbound back here. Making it look so easy. You can go for the wide swing, maybe a bit labored, but at the end of the day, Passion Project completely shut out of this round.
Sabui stuck in this corner. Starbound is just going to run her down.
Standing.
Maybe a little bit overzealous in that one, but the money is so good for FlyQuest at this point. They're sitting pretty here with a buy into the next. Passion Project very much in trouble here. They've had chances on Breeze. They've kept it close, but now they've lost a very big swing round. And this next one really feels like their last chance to stay in this lower final.
It does. Lazy Lion continues to be a bright spot, but now FlyQuest are hunting out for the lurks. Halls doesn't really seem that doable for Lazy Lion. Passion Project, I suppose, could commit more bodies into that area, but seems almost like you're so far towards the end of the game. I don't know if I would throw away around like that. 2-3 players fighting into that space. I hear footsteps, but I don't know where they're going, Mimi.
They're working on the setup still. Starbound, though, I feel like has been just the star of this map. Playing against one of their former teammates on that other side, and have just been great as the anchor in this one. This unconventional comp as well for FlyQuest, coming out on a map that they never play really at all in this scene, and having some great moments, finding some huge adaptations in that first half to now lead this one.
Both Cyphers have just been so dominant in this game. And Passion Project will be tested in their ability to scout this round. An odd setup, Jet playing towards the Cypher site. So you have that forward line into mid, but such good stall tools if you do decide to exec back over into A. If Passion Project can figure out that A is going to be light, really just a Viper Orb here, that could be the key to open up the round.
They have so much space already. Sonder is full walk down mid.
This is so odd. Jazzykins becomes the Halls player. And I suppose they could look for an A split if Jazzy wants to dash out with a smoke top yellow, if she can make it to the door. But the problem is there's an up here. I don't think that Passion Project can actually lurk into halls with how FlyQuest have adapted.
It looked like they wanted to split into B, but instead it's going to be full back into main. There are Cypher trips here. That Reyna in mid is going to become activated. This round is everything. Passion Project will take the time to get another alt orb, but this hit is seen. Starbound on the anchor. The trip caught by the clone. A second cage to buy time, but that lurk in mid is big. Saunder down. Power Pixel on an entry, and Jazzy doing the same. They've got a massive advantage and a post plant on A.
It's just a full save for FlyQuest. They call the round before the plant even comes in. And it's because Passion Project's exec there was perfect. So many small details there that end up paying off in a big, big way. First of all, you have Jazzykins dropping the smoke on the mouth of A main so that they can threaten crossing over. Also, blocking away an op shot, blocking away the camera. So then, when Unstable's clone is coming through that, the tag from a Cypher cam is random. Even if they had seen those players, you don't necessarily know which one is going to be the clone and which one is real. On top of the initiator utility floating in behind that, it's very hard to actually hold the mouth of A main with how Passion Project moved into that site.
And it's a great mid-round there as well. I think Lazy Line getting entrenched in that lurk mid.
Yep.
So many of these rounds, FlyQuest is getting early mid control and then have been running away with these super fast rotates on their defense because of it. There, the lurk actually gets the punish, doesn't get flushed out, and proves critical to win that round. But there is still money for FlyQuest. They still have a Viper's Pit to work with. Passion Project not out of the woods yet.
That said, Unstable gets the Yor ult during that play, so that simplifies things a lot. They can just look for a true exec here. Only trailing 2 rounds right now. Not a swing round for either team. We'll still have a bye after this.
Jazzy again putting a little pressure over towards Halt.
And
As
last
Saunder
round,
gets entrenched there.
yeah, last round after showing that early Passion Project froze and fell off, and that caused the Halls player to rotate out. But this time you can see Saunder sticks around. Saunder just loves hiding in these corners on the Reyna, shutting down that lurk in its entirety. But again, there is a very weak side of the map for FlyQuest, and that is the A side of the map. Passion Project last round cooled off and then reset into a hit, and I think they're going to do the same. Because while all this is going on, you still have Lazy Line, this time in elbow, waiting for that late mid pinch.
Who's next?
That Yor ult going to be popped into the A site.
Oh no.
But it's just the Yoru. They're focusing
They're
on
all
Halt
going to
instead.
Saunder.
No one is looking at Saunder. 1 kill found. Dismiss away. Trey trying to spam through, but somehow she's still alive. And Thea in backside is getting a kill of her own. Starbound as well, arriving on the scene. Spike is down in Halls. Lazy Lion is stuck in mid.
Cage triggered.
The perfect call for FlyQuest.
Just lights out from Starbound. Door
30
closed.
seconds left.
The round just completely shut out from Lazy Lion. You might as well try. You've got the money, but there's absolutely no time. Simply isn't
And the
gonna happen.
knife out. Brutal way to end it.
FlyQuest are now 1 round away from clean sweeping Passion Project and having a rematch in the grand finals up against Shopify Rebellion.
One enemy remaining.
After being knocked to lowers in the first series they played in main event. It looked dire for this team, but they have been so excellent ever since. Ever since their backs got pushed against the wall.
And for Passion Project, they were the talk of the town yesterday. A round away from beating Shopify Rebellion. Having an upper bracket run all the way into the grand finals, but they lost there. Are down in this BO5 now, and it has been dominant for FlyQuest.
Passion Project need to take a deep breath here and find a way back into this game. Honestly, just got beat by that position Saunder had. The reswing from Starbound. In terms of ultimates, not much to work with. Don't really have to think about that too much. You've got a pit and post plant. That's literally it. Lazy Line has continued to look strong on the lurks, but it's hard to come up heads 3 rounds in a row on that. It's so hard to rely on that for 3-round wins.
And FlyQuest are going to take an early peek here. Dodonut towards B main. Buying the operator. And going for an aggressive look we haven't really seen yet. Dash popped. Just running instead, actually. Fighting her time, and it even gets
Good
out without
patience.
having to use anything more.
Yeah, Passion
That's at
Project's
least the
not
drone
early
bomb.
swinging. A lot of teams, they'd swing off that drone and they would fall to Dodo right there. Same time, actually, Unstable's trying to make as much noise as humanly possible over towards the A site, knowing that there's no info over there, knowing that the Jet is playing the forward line on B. If you make noise, that fake could be sold.
They're execing into Starbound. Dodo swinging through the smoke, finds a shot on the operator. 3 players left to try and make it through. That whip could give a chance, but the second shot is found. Dodo for 2. Trades coming back in, 2 versus 3 on the site, but Sonder has circumvented them. And a tag onto Lazy Lion. They're left alone, and they are gone. FlyQuest Red in the lower bracket sweep 9 maps in a row to find their rematch in the grand finals.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's another FlyQuest Shopify final, and about as clean a series you could get. That was lights out from start to finish from FlyQuest Red. What a performance at the end. They're finding the right moment. Sonder especially sneaking into those cringe corners so many times. And honestly, Passion Projects just could not deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, the on-the-fly calling was absolutely on point. I think Theo was lights out through this entire series. Yeah, I mean, this team is looking legit. They have a BO5 Grand Finals coming up tomorrow, but you'll want to stick around today because we have an interview and the desk waiting on the other side.
Every time I needed a new phone, I had to switch carriers.
I told him, at Verizon, everyone can get the best deals. Like that iPhone 15 on them.
Switching all the time, it wasn't easy.
35. You're gonna be here forever.
Here's your wireless contract.
Do I need a lawyer for this? Those were hard days.
Representative switch!
Now that I got a huge storage and battery upgrade, I'm officially done switching.
New and existing customers get iPhone 15 on us when they trade in any iPhone, any condition, guaranteed.
I really wish you told me sooner.
I did.
Look what I've just made. The perfect pearl.
Not too bad, but check this out.
Whoa, a true Venus clam.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Well, they've done it. FlyQuest Red, lower bracket Demons yet again, taking another strong victory. Now finding themselves in the grand finals. 3 maps is all it took here, Baby Bay. And wow, FlyQuest Red, they're looking so good on the day.
Yeah, from start to finish, it was dominant. I mean, not only from the individuals, but also just the overall team play and like the synergy that we witnessed. I mean, on that last map, yeah, it was a weird comp, scrappy comp, but they're taking these fights together. The trades are on point, and yeah, it got a little messy here and there. You know, I don't think it was the cleanest map of Breeze we've seen, but I mean, they closed it out at the end of the day, and that's all that mattered.
Hey, I mean, considering it was a Breeze that we weren't really sure what we were going to get, and we were rewarded with a Reyna on one end, a Euro on the other. I think that we got to see a really fun little showdown here. Doug, Passion Project, they definitely did fight, but just down so much momentum, not just in the map, but in the series. It was kind of tough press, even when we did see moments of brilliance.
Yeah, man, this feels a little bad to say, but I really wish that the Passion Project that we saw today was the same Passion Project that we had seen over the last couple of days, because I was super excited for that series, and I think unfortunately today was a byproduct of a couple of things. Obviously, FlyQuest are insane. Mimi mentioned it, but I just want to go ahead and remind you good people at home about what you've just witnessed. They haven't dropped a map since their opening series against Solstice. They lost that. They haven't lost a single map since. The run that they're going on is ridiculous. You go on lower bracket runs and yeah, you'll drop a map here or there to, you know, keep things exciting and add to the drama and, you know, all of that stuff, kind of like bait people along. But the performance and the run that they've put together is outrageous. And I was really expecting a pretty considerable clash today against Passion Project, but they just didn't have it. Man, they didn't have it on map 1. They didn't have it on map 2, and they didn't have it on map 3 either. And yeah, there was a little bit of fight at the end there. I think, you know, we were starting to talk about in that first half about how insane Lazy Lion was playing. Blocking down C on their own was really impressive. And I really liked the way that Unstable was using some of their Euro flashes in order to enable the locking down of sites by Lazy Lion, but it just ultimately wasn't enough. And I think, as you're saying, once you're down that big, when you don't have momentum throughout an entire series, I mean, that gets to you, right? That gets to you in the server, that gets to you out of the server. And I think, unfortunately, they just didn't have it today.
Yeah, it's definitely a little, it pulls on the heartstrings a little bit there for that one, but it is what it is. You have to be showing up on these big days.
Right.
And for FlyQuest Red, now looking at tomorrow, Baby Bay, they've had a wonderful performance here in the lower bracket run. I'm hoping the FlyQuest we saw today, that's the one we get tomorrow.
Yeah, and they got to keep it clean, because if they don't, I mean, you're going to run into the powerhouse that we know that is Shopify. I mean, Shopify has dominated the scene for how long now? And everyone needs to show up. A big person who stepped up huge today was Thea, and it's a lot is gonna rest on her shoulders. So it's a lot of pressure for her, but I think that the way that they've been playing and the run that they've done through this lower bracket, I think they have a good chance of doing something.
It's such a well-deserved grand finals appearance, and I cannot wait for that. And I got to talk to them a little bit more about that, and we have a Verizon post-match interview ready. Donut, I told you yesterday if y'all won today, I was pulling you for the interview today, and you've gone ahead, you did the thing. 3-0 victory as well. How are you and the team feeling?
Honestly, we didn't really expect it to be a 3-0. We thought it was going to be like all 5 maps, or at least 4. Because Passion Project has like really talented players, and we were ready for them.
I mean, we thought this one might go a little bit distance too, but FlyQuest Red, I mean, you guys came out of the gate. This looked so clean. Like, how much preparation went into this matchup? Because as well, like, as Colleen was immaculate, your consistency throughout this lower bracket run has been immaculate. Like, what's been the prep work been behind the scenes?
Honestly, the first day we didn't really play like ourselves. But then when we went down to lower, it was like a wake up call to like, hey, like, we need to start playing like ourselves, start playing like how we usually play in scrims. And I guess lower bracket run, I mean, we are really good. Like, even like the coaching staff, they've been like super supportive and helping us through everything.
I'm glad to hear. And yeah, FlyQuest Red, lower bracket demons, it's been absolutely incredible. And I want to ask you how you're feeling about this run and your own performance throughout too, because we've been seeing you step up and pop off in a variety of roles throughout. We get to see you on the Duelist, of course. You guys crushed on the Duelist, but we see the Sage as well. Like, how has all of this been for you?
The Sage on Icebox was kind of last minute. We only had like 2-3 days to like practice, but I guess I'm a Sage main now. But I enjoy playing Sage a lot, maybe more than Duelist sometimes. So I'm glad we finally started playing Icebox and we're owning on it.
I gotta poke and prod a little further on that then. You only had a couple days, the Sage kind of last minute. So what's the decision like that pulling you, who's a crack Duelist, off of that to then bring the Sage role up? Like, was there something that was like a little flaw that y'all had to fix in the comp, or what happened here?
Our Icebox used to be like our weak point, but like our coach was like, yo, I have this crazy idea. How about you play Sage, blah, blah. And then we tried it, and I'm like a battle Sage. I'm like playing Sage like Duelist, so I mean, doesn't really change anything. The only thing I don't have is dash and updraft, but other than that, I can wall myself, slow myself, and shoot. Wait, slow myself? No, slow the enemy.
slow them, not yourself,
Yeah,
not yourself,
not myself.
Hopefully. Now, I love this Battle Sage arc. I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more of it tomorrow, especially too. You're up against Shopify Rebellion. You've faced them so many times at this point, including the Main Series 1, the Grand Finals there. Talk to me about how this go. Oh, first, hello, everyone.
Oh, wait, sorry, can you repeat that?
We're pivoting questions now. How is everyone feeling for the finals? Hello, everyone.
Yo, guys, how are you guys feeling?
Good.
Good, great. Phenomenal. That's a word.
I mean, I want to ask if you're nervous for this grand finals match against Shopify tomorrow, but it kind of looks like the vibes, the energy over there is just great.
Yeah, I mean, we're all boot camping, having fun. We're all spending time with each other, team bonding. We also had team bonding at the Airbnb for 3 days because we got COVID.
Oh, everyone's good 100% now, though. All right.
We spent 2 hours playing Uno, so.
I mean, the fact that it's all smiles over there and nobody's at each other's throats after 2 hours of Uno, it shows how close everyone is on this squad. I want to make sure that you can join them for the rest of the team bonding for the night, get prepared for tomorrow's finals. But Donut, congrats again on this win. Thanks for chatting. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. As the rest, back to the desk. I love FlyQuest Red interviews. The whole team together. It's always so much fun. The energy was immaculate yesterday, it's immaculate today, and going on for tomorrow into their grand finals match. I'm hoping we get to keep that same energy.
Yeah, me too, because I think if that's the team that we see tomorrow, we're gonna have a really freaking good time. But I think a lot of it kind of goes back to the conversation that we've had multiple times throughout the day is you've got to show up on the day. And I think if Shopify are going to get pushed, it needs to be the fly quest that we saw today, the fly quest that we saw yesterday. Truly, the fly quest that we've seen all lower bracket run. I mean, Donut mentioned it in the interview. Like, after that opening loss to Solstice, they kind of got punched in the mouth. And it was a bit of a reality check, a gut check, if you will. And I think when you think about teams putting together runs like that, you often need something like that. You need a little something to kind of snap your back straight a little bit and kind of like tighten you up. And so if that's what it takes for FlyQuest to do something ridiculous here, then I'm all for it. I think Shopify are going to demand the very best out of FlyQuest because that's just the Shopify we know. We know what they're capable of. We know how good they are. FlyQuest have to show up tomorrow.
I'm hoping that we get to see the Shopify Rebellion that we get to know, though, because that was a really close upper finals here, Baby Bay. I mean, Fluorescent was absolutely popping off, but Shopify Rebellion, I think a lot of rounds were kind of on the back of Flora, and we know that the skill is there for Shopify Rebellion. How is this one going to pan out?
Yeah, I think that's Shopify's wake-up call in their own way of like Flora having to drop like almost 100 kills for them to barely like squeak out that series. So I think that we're gonna see a brand new Shopify as well, one that's like definitely hungry and everybody's stepping up. I feel like sometimes that team likes to take a step back and just have it be the Floor show, which is, you know, I'm sure Floor likes it, but it's not fair. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's gonna be a banger, and I think that FlyQuest they need to go into these maps tomorrow with a strong start for sure, like they did today, because the strong starts that they had today, I mean, that was honestly the bread and butter of why they won. I mean, it just seemed like they got a momentum rolling. They were able to control the entire pace. Their game planning was good. So I'm really looking forward to see what kind of game planning Jovi does and Thea do for this upcoming match that they have. And it's going to be tough because Shopify watched this entire series, and I guess the thing that they took out of this is that it was a stomp. So that's kind of good in FlyQuest's favor.
I don't know, man. I think part of the issue is you think about the series yesterday with Shopify is you go, oh, okay, but Floor had to drop 3,000 in order for them to win. There's no way Floor does that again, right? But the problem is Floor can, and Floor does, and Floor does it all the freaking time. So I don't even know that it's like, well, okay, at least we have that going for us because there's no way Floor is able to replicate that performance and that level of success. But that's just Floor any given Sunday. Right? So if you're FlyQuest, you almost just have to know that Floor's gonna drop 25-30 on you every map. How do you win in spite of that? And that's been the thing that people have been trying to solve for what 2 years now, maybe even more.
I mean, we'll have to see at this point of FlyQuest Red if they can crack the code tomorrow and try and get the upset there in the grand finals, or if it's going to be yet another Shopify Rebellion win. But unfortunately, that is it for today. Doug, Baby, y'all have been awesome as well. Big thanks and kudos to Ender and Mimi, our wonderful production staff, for the wonderful job they've done all series long. And of course, want to thank you all at home for tuning in. Make sure to be back here tomorrow for the grand finals between Shopify Rebellion and FlyQuest Red. See you then.